very ill. He sent me these flowers. It's a good thing he did. I do not have any patience for a young man who cancels a dinner reservation at the very last minute.
I'll take the flowers, Mrs. Pringle.
Oh, it's such a shame, after you've said it all so beautifully. And it's getting so late. Someone might be coming any minute. Oh, how's Cook?
Oh, she's in a temper as always, madam.
Oh, I'm glad to hear it. She's like an actress. The better the temper, the better the performance. As long as she serves a good dinner, I don't care how much she swears. The rest of you can just stay out of her way. Ah, where's Gustav?
Oh, I'm sorry to have to say it, madam, but there's such an awful blizzard out that he's sweeping out the sidewalk.
Oh, dear me, yes. Oh, I should have ordered an awning. But who expected a storm like this?
Here are the place cards, Mother, and the diagram. Shall I put them around?
Yes, dear. Elaine, I'm going upstairs to see after your father. He's helpless about his ties. Oh, remove one plate, Dunham.
Oh, one plate, madam. Oh, but madam! Well, this is a certainty. You wouldn't sit down with 13.
13? Oh, you're right. 13. We can never sit down with 13. Oh, this is all due to Mr. Harper's negligence. A sick friend, nothing. He's just one of those careless men who never answer their invitations in time. Oh, and now look at all the trouble he's put me to. 13. Oh, I wonder whom I could get to come at the last minute. Quick, Elaine, help me think.
There's always Uncle George.
He never opens his head.
Mr. Morgan, madam, he always tells a joke or two.
Why, yes. Dunham, that's clever of you. Central? Yes, Lakeview 5971. At once, please. Elaine, dear, your hair. It's too tight. Pull it out. Pull it up. Come here. Mr. Morgans? Well, this is Mrs. Pringle speaking. From across the street, yes. Well, when he arrives, please tell him that I want him to telephone me right away. I want him to dine with us. In about 10 minutes, you expect him? Well, have him phone me right away. Now, yes. Have him call me right away. Oh, now if he shouldn't get it, then what should I do?
Well, Mother, I don't have to be at the table. It's your party anyway, and everybody's married and older than I am.
Oh, didn't I seat you next to Oliver Farnsworth? Millions, he's worth millions.
Well, he's not going to be giving me any.
Can't he marry you? Oh, can't you try to make a good match for yourself? I fling every eligible man I can at your head. Can't you finish the rest yourself?
It's really no use, Mother. You're trying to marry me off to anyone as important as he is because he frightens me to death. I lose my tongue. I am as afraid of him as I'd be afraid of the Prince of Wales.
The Prince of Wales? Oh, what I wouldn't give to have the Prince of Wales in my house. New York has lost its heart to him. Why, I was telling Mr. Farnsworth yesterday that I would give anything to have the Prince here. Oh, I would establish my social reputation for life. And I have such a reputation for being a wonderful hostess. Oh, dear me, the phone. Hello. Yes, this is Mrs. Pringle. Ah, Mrs. Sedgwick. What? Caught in a snowdrift. Can't get another car? Oh, Dunham, the widow can't come. That'll leave us with 12. Remove another plate. Oh, my dear, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm heartbroken. Whatever shall we do without you? Yes, but have you really tried? Ah, well, I'm reduced to tears. Goodbye. Well, I'm glad she dropped out. Central, Lakeview, 5971. Dunham, with 2 less. You can save 2 cocktails and at least 4 glasses of champagne. Has Mr. Morgan arrived yet? Well, don't give him the message that I telephoned before about him crossing the street to the Pringles for dinner. It's too late, you understand? There, I've invited Clem, returned my indebtedness, and saved my champagne besides.
Thanks, madam. The liquor is getting low, what with prohibition and entertaining so much.
But, Mother, if there are only 12 people at the table, Father can't sit at the head.
Oh, but he must sit at the head. It's too undignified when the man of the house is pushed to the side.
Well, there's no other way. There must be a woman in each end.
Oh, how absurd. Oh, I always forget, of course. 12 is an impossible number. Let's see. I don't want to put any of these women at the head. Oh, Mrs. Darby. Oh, such a cat. I wouldn't give her the honor. Of course, there's Mrs. Oh, answer it, Dunham.
Mrs. Pringle's residence. Oh, a message. Yes? What's that? Oh, Mr. Darby. The doctor says your baby has the chicken pox.
Oh, chicken pox, Elaine.
Mother.
Yes, sir. Mr. Darby sends his apologies, but owing to the transmutability of the disease, he and Mrs. Darby send their regrets. Also, their house guests, Mr. and Mrs. Fleetwood.
That's 4 out, Elaine.
Then you're only 8. Quick, Dunham, the plates.
Don't we know anyone we could invite at the last minute?
The Hatwoods.
Oh, they never serve drinks when they entertain. I can't afford to invite them to drink mine.
The Green.
She's not interesting enough.
Mr. Conley.
He never answers a call for dinner, no matter how many times I invite him.
Hester Longley.
Not at the same table with you and Oliver Farnsworth. She's far too pretty, too clever.
Where's her book? The covers.
Great heavens, Elaine, 6 in the family.
Then you are back to 14, and Father can sit at the head of the table.
Well, try them. I'll rush in and tell your father to hold up the drawing room.
Ridgeway 9325. This is Elaine Pringle. What tupper am I speaking to? Oh, Ella. Hi. Well, I hope you haven't finished your dinner yet. We were having a little party, and everybody's been dropping out at the last moment. Yeah, the blizzard. Well, can't you flock your family around the corner and come eat with us? Mother and I just thought we knew you well enough to call you like this at the 7th hour. Oh, you would? Wonderful. Done. 6 more plates. Dunham, can you get Mother? Quick! Of course. Wonderful. Okay, I'll see you then. All right, dear. Oh, great Caesar, what have I done now?
What's the matter?
I've done it. Now I've really done it. But you know what I did on this one? I just I lose my head and I bungle things. And that's what
Don't keep us waiting. What is it?
Well, I invited Ella and the family, and she accepted. And then she said that they had 2 house guests, and would it be all right if they came? And of course they said yes. And now we are 16.
16, but madam, the table's not that long.
Elaine, this is just like you. No tact, no worldly wisdom. If I had been on the phone, I would have politely said
You were at the phone.
Is not...
You were at the phone, and you know that you are to tend to such messages yourself because
Madam, the dishes, we only have 14 squalls.
I won't eat any.
I will not be disgraced. You will have to make the best of it and insert another board.
But Mother, I needed to be at the table.
You are going to sit next to Oliver Farnsworth, and I don't want to hear another word about it.
Can't you just squeeze them all in without all the effort of adding another board?
Have you forgotten? Mr. Tupper weighs something like 250 pounds, and Mrs. Conway has no waistline. It can't be done.
Hooks in a rage, madam. Since she was only prepared for 14.
Well, I can't help it. Tell her she will have to prepare for 16. Tell her to open cans of soup and vegetables.
But the ice cream forms, the gelatin molds,
I'll pretend I don't like them.
And I'll pretend I'm on a diet.
But Mother, I needn't be at the table.
Be still. Oh, what is it now? Don't get it. It's driving me mad. Hello. Yes, this is Mrs. Pringle. Jessica. What? The blizzard? Oh, you're cold. Too dangerous. Don't. Oh, my dear, I'm so sorry. Yes, your husband is quite right. It would be foolhardy. Put on a mustard plaster, hot toddy, go to bed. So soft. There, that's wonderful. Now we are just 14.
But Mother, only 6 of the people that were originally invited are actually coming, so you're gonna have to make an entirely new diagram.
Give it to me.
I'll get cards.
Oh, what a mess. I spent hours over this diagram. Everything depends on the guest being seated harmoniously. Oh, there's the doorbell, Dunham. I told Annie to get it for you. But go, have a peek and see who it is. Oh, you murderous instrument. What have you to say? What is it now? Hello. Who? Mr. Farnsworth. Mr. Oliver Farnsworth. What? No. You're his secretary. He's what? Instructed you to make his excuses? He had to go to Boston on emergency business? Oh, how dare you? How dare you at the last minute like this? No regard for a hostess's feelings, no regard for the effort she goes to provide an evening's enjoyment. Business! I don't believe it. He didn't want to make the effort. He was afraid of freezing in the blizzard, as if he didn't have half a dozen limousines to carry him to the door. Oh, selfishness, downright rudeness, and worth millions, just a match for your name. And I was bound that you should meet him and sit next to him at the table. And now, I don't know when I can offer you a chance like that again. Oh, I'm perfectly furious. I never speak to him again. Oh, I won't be treated like that.
Well, Mother, maybe he really did have business and was called away.
And me, one of the most important hostesses in this city. People clamoring to receive my invitations. All my affairs are a success. I insist they shall be. I will not bear a failure. I will not have a failure. Oh, he was my most important guest. Such a man's man, so important financially. Every man deems it an honor to speak with him. And now, not coming. Oh, I'm perfectly furious. It's all this damnable blizzard.
Well, Mother, now that he is not coming, we're back to 13. So I guess I really will have to stay away from the table.
Go to bed. Go up to the nursery. I'll serve you milk and crackers.
Mother, it is not my fault that he was called away on business.
Yes, it is. If you would just perk up a little and not be so timid and make something of yourself, then you would hear about your attractions from other gentlemen and be curious to meet you himself. Oh, what a family I have. No one to help me with my ambitions. Oh, go to bed. I certainly won't sit down at 13. Go to bed, get out of my sight.
It was Mr. Morgan, madam.
Mr. Morgan?
Mm-hmm.
But I telephoned his maid to tell him not to come.
Oh, he couldn't have received the second message, madam, because I heard him explaining to Mr. Pringle how delighted he was to receive your telephone invitation.
Well, that makes you 13, unless you really don't want me to go to bed.
Well, of course I don't want you to go to bed. We're back to where we started from. 14 Dunham.
I'll get the cocktails ready, madam. Annie says there are several motors making their way through the snow. It's late now, so cook's swearing about the dinner getting too dry.
I don't get it.
Oh, I should say not. Hello, what is it? Hello, Mrs. Tupper. Yes, Mrs. Tupper. Oh, but you must come. But we're prepared for you. Yes, 8 of you. Your daughter told my daughter about your house guests, and we are delighted to have them. But we're set for you. Every plate is set. But your daughter was quite right. It was no imposition at all. But you must come now. But of course, my daughter had the authority to invite the guests of... My dear, it was no imposition at all. 8 is not at all a big number. There is room. The table is all set. But really, you must come. But my dear, how foolish of you to take that stand. My dear, my dear. Oh, how do you like that? Mrs. Tupper is perfectly furious at Ella for telling you about the house guests. She says Ella has no tact, that nothing would induce her to bring 8 when we invited 6. So Ella and Henry are staying at home. Only 6 are coming. Remove 2 plates, Dunham. We're 12 after all.
But Mother, if we're only 12, then Father can't...
I shall go mad! I will never entertain again. Never, never. People ought to know whether they're coming or not, but they accept and regret and regret and accept. They drive me wild! This is my last dinner party. The very last. And a fiasco. Not a fiasco. A haphazard crowd hurried together, and after I planned everything so beautifully, and where shall I seat them? Where shall I seat them? If I put Mr. Tupper here and Mrs. Colley there, then Mrs. Tupper will have to sit next to her husband. And if I put Mr. Morgan here, oh, it's impossible. I might as well just put their names in a hat and draw them out at random. I'm through. Through with society. Through with parties. Through with friends. I wiped my slate clean. They'll miss my entertainments. They wish they had been more considerate. From now on, I'm going to live for myself. From now on, I'm going to be selfish and hard and unsocial and drink my liquor myself instead of offering it gratis to the whole town. I'm through with men like Oliver Farnsworth. Oh, I don't care how rich they are, how important they are, how influential they are. They are nothing without courtesy and consideration. Business! Ha! Oh, Fontaine didn't want to make the effort. Didn't want to come. Didn't want to meet a sweet, pretty girl. Didn't want to marry her. Well, he's not good enough for you. Do you hear me? Don't you marry him. Don't you dare marry him. I won't let you marry him. If you two eloped or anything like that, I'd cut it off right there. Oliver Farnsworth will never get recognition from me. Oliver Farnsworth is beneath my notice. I hate Mr. Farnsworth.
A note from Mr. Farnsworth.
A note from Mr.
Yes, madam. Two strange gentlemen down in the lower hall, they presented this letter. He said he was a secretary. The rest of your guests are upstairs in the drawing room. I counted 12 in all, including you, Mr. Pringle, and Miss Elaine. But the other two gentlemen are downstairs, waiting for an answer. The one gentleman's face looks very familiar, but I can't seem to place it. But I know I've seen it somewhere.
Seen his face? Somewhere? Elaine. Elaine! It's the Prince of Wales.
The secretary, madam. He said you cut him off the telephone or Central disconnected you. He was about to say that Mr. Farnsworth knew that the blizzard had prevented His Highness from keeping an appointment way uptown.
The Prince of Wales is in my lower hall, waiting for me to ask him to dinner.
But Mother, if the prince comes, then we're going to be back to 13.
Ah, the secretary, miss. He is his bodyguard.
Of course, the secretary, Elaine. We will be 14 for dinner. Serve the cocktails, Dunham. The guests can sit anywhere they like. I will bring the prince in with me.
But, Mother, wasn't it very nice of Mr. Farnsworth to send a prince in his place?
No, didn't I always say that Oliver Farnsworth was the most considerate of men?
Yeah, I think I shall like Mr. Farnsworth.
Oh, my. It's too late to like Mr. Farnsworth. It's time now to like the prince. Oh, I always manage to be the most successful of hostesses.